Yep, all good, thank you. Fire team, congratulations on the win and heading into the grand final series. Shannon, how are you feeling at the moment?
Oh, thrilled. It was, it was a tough series. Credit to Southside, they played great, and we've had, battles every single game pretty much this whole season against them. I think it's just one of those teams that are a tough matchup for us. And Christy's a great coach, and she obviously has them well drilled, and their star players turned up every game and did a great job and made it super tough on us. So, really happy to get out of the series. And more great experience for our team as well to battle through some of those tough moments.
What was going through your head when it was only 4 points the difference with sort of a couple of minutes to go in the game? It could have gone either way, really.
Oh, absolutely. I think all we were trying to think about was how do we just get a little bit more momentum on offense. We're sort of, I think, running on fumes a little bit, and points were getting pretty hard to come by. And and then obviously they've got some things they do really well, and Kayla obviously such a tough cover because she can play inside and out. So, just trying to figure out how we wanted to defend her pick and rolls the last little part of the game. And, I thought the girls did a great job. We obviously had a pretty poor defensive game the other night down in Melbourne, and came back today and just executed our defensive schemes after the first 5 minutes or so of the game, so much better. Made things tough on them. They scored, I think, 20 points in the paint, maybe in the first quarter. And then I think after that had I don't know what it was, about 12 or so after that. So, to force them into a lot more mid-range shots, contested threes, and be able to lock the paint against a team that's so elite down there was really encouraging.
Courtney, third finals game in 7 days. How are the legs for you?
Yeah, it was good. I feel like anytime you play game 3, both teams are probably feeling a bit tired. So I kind of feel like going into that, probably fatigue's going to play a factor. But I think Southside are the exact same. Southside had to travel here. We had to travel back from Melbourne. So I feel like you can't really use that as an excuse. And I think it was definitely a tiring game. It was very physical. Every time we play Southside, super physical. But it was really enjoyable.
Are you proud of the way your team responded to Wednesday night's game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, obviously there was a lot of talk after the second game. I think Kayla kind of made a point to say that, people externally weren't giving them enough credit, but I feel like our team and our program has absolutely nothing but respect for Southside. I think we've talked openly that, they have everything they need. Christy's done a great job with them, and I think they were a team that was capable of winning a championship, and I think we knew going into tonight that we had to play a really good game to be able to defeat them. So I think we have absolutely nothing but respect for Southside and how they've played this season.
It was Maddie's 200th game.
Yeah.
How hard is it to defend her when she's running full pelt down the court?
Yeah, I think Rochi's had a great season. I feel like I have a lot of respect for her, especially how well she's passed. This season, I actually had her in my first team for a WNBL selection. I think she was probably snubbed a little bit, not to get a shout out from them, but we have absolutely, a lot of what we do is to try and slow Maddie down. I think Shannon said at halftime she's such a big part of what they do. So obviously she has a lot of respect from our program. I think Abby did a really great job, so did Lucy. So we did everything we can to try and defend a play like that. So it was a really good experience, hopefully leading into the grand final.
What was it like out there on the floor, Courtney? You had a huge crowd, it was so loud I couldn't really hear any on the mic. Just I guess the energy and the encore battle as well. What did it feel like?
Yeah, I think it was good. I think we've had a lot of those experiences, I feel like, this year. We've played in a lot of close games, and I think this is a team, probably besides Mila, that have played close to over 50 games together or something like that. So I think we have the chemistry, we have the experience. I think we can lean on each other kind of in those moments. So I think there are definitely patches maybe we lost our way a little bit, but I think it's a team that really believes in each other and really can lean on each other. So even when things aren't necessarily going our way, it probably was a lot in game 2, I feel like today, there were moments, but then we're getting in huddles and you're able to kind of hear each other and stay connected, because obviously it is super loud in here. They went on some runs, so I feel like we're kind of able to manage that and kind of come away with the 10-point win.
A career best game for Alicia Froling as well today, 26 points. What's it been like playing alongside her and having her as a VC as well this season? And what she brought to the club this season?
Yeah, Frol's been incredible, and Frol's like that. If anyone's going to have their career high in game 3 of a semi-final, it's going to be Alicia Froling. So it's absolutely awesome, and I feel like anytime you talk about Frol, the fact that she's switched hands and she's able to do that in a professional game is incredible. So, but no one believes in herself more than Alicia. So I feel like I'm really happy that she's on our team, and then hit another 3 today. I think she told me that she's now 75% the last 3 games. So yeah, we'll see how she goes. But yeah, she gets her reps in every single day, so we all believe in her to shoot it, and especially when she's open. So yeah, really happy and proud of her.
Shannon, I think Courtney picked up her 4th personal late in there. How did you decide when to pull the trigger on putting it back out?
I mean, obviously, it's tough because we didn't know the way the game's called and that we were worried that, like she'd get her 5th and be done. So we just tried to buy as much time as possible. Obviously, the lead started shrinking. Our offense kind of dried up a little bit once she went out. So, once we sort of felt like the margin was in a position where we'd saved enough minutes to probably hopefully get her through the game, but 2, the margin started getting a bit tight. We got her back out there just to steady the ship and, just give us that person we could put the ball in their hands and, kind of make plays with down the stretch. So, yeah, it was tricky, but, I think the whole series, to be honest, the refs have done a great job. It's very hard, I think, officiating our 2 teams, and especially a finals game, and I'm sure the grand final is going to be no different. It's going to be physical as heck, and teams trying as hard as they can to be able to win. So, I think they did a really good job, throughout the series.
Back home for Thursday night, Shannon, what do the next few days look like for you and your team?
Get some rest, I think. Obviously, we haven't even really thought about Perth at all because we were just trying to get out of this one. We knew we had our hands full here, so probably spend the next 24 hours really diving into that. The girls will have the day off tomorrow, and then we'll probably get back to practice on Tuesday for something light, and then Wednesday same thing, and then ready to go Thursday. So, it's going to be a short week, short turnaround, but really exciting, and really proud of this team, and can't wait to get into the final series.
Amazing. Assuming that is all from the room, so I'll just throw over to Sebastian Tan from AFC.
Hey guys, Shannon, I'll just start with you. I think tonight you guys might have hit, I think it was 12 overalls or something like that. I'm just wondering, how do you guys kind of turn that around a little bit, kind of going into that series with
the amount of threes and things Perth shoot, if we give up 12 boards, we'll probably be satisfied with that. We've probably given up 20 to them in one game this year, I would say, and same with the Flyers. I think we gave up 17 or 18 in game 2, so I think we tidied that up a little bit. I'd still like us to be better, just with knowing people that are going to crash the boards, like being ready to actually get a body on them and allow someone else to go and actually clean up the glass so we can maybe run a little bit more potentially, but we knew the Flyers were going to crash the boards really hard. Izzy Bourne goes every time. Hayley Peters was crashing early, every single time as well. And, at least we didn't give up as many second chance points. I think they had 20-something, 24 maybe in the last game. They only had 11 today. So it's definitely an area we've been working on a lot for the last probably the second half of the season since we lost Lauren Cox. And, I think we're getting a bit better at it on our days. Oh, cool. No worries.
Thanks, Deb. I'll just throw over to Craig O'Donoghue from the West Australian.
Yeah, g'day guys. Quickly, I'm throwing forward to the grand final. The rivalry between the clubs, the 3 years in a row where you've been semis, it's probably fitting that you now face off in the grand final. Can you talk a bit about the rivalry, Shannon, and what it means to you to be playing in these big games consistently against them?
I guess you could call it a rivalry. We seem to always cross them in the finals at some point. So I guess it's fun now. It's for a championship and not just in a semi-final. But no, Ryan has done a great job with his program. Obviously, they've got a heck of a team, and probably I'm assuming the favourites probably going in. So I think we need to get to the drawing board and figure out what it is that we're going to actually do against them to try and slow down their offense. We probably have a bit of a formula, I think, last time we played them in Perth, so we'll have to look at whether that's something we want to do again or not. And then, I think we've obviously played each other enough over the years that I think Ryan and I both probably know quite a bit about what each other are going to do. So it's going to be really fun to see the players, I think, duke it out, in our respective systems.
You finished on top.
Oh, I mean, I think that would be the consensus, I would assume. Like, I don't know, I mean, everyone likes Perth a lot and they're explosive on offense and all those things. They've got Ali Wilson, so it's, you know, I think wherever we sit, like, you know, we need to go in and play our best and play as hard as we can and, you know, hopefully just continue to get better at being disciplined. I think that's still an area where we can improve a little bit as a group, like, especially in key moments in games when we have leads and just knowing exactly what we need to be able to do to hold a lead or extend it and not allow teams to have, you know, the ability to get back into games when we have a decent margin. But, I mean, mate, it's going to be fun. You know, I don't know what the goal is or who's the favourite or whatever, but it's going to be a lot of fun and, you know, we're excited for Thursday.
Every grand final needs theatre and it needs tension. It's got both after the last time you played. You said it was a basketball play, right? Disagreed. Alicia called a crybaby at one point as she left the court. Like, do you think that moment will have an impact on this game?
I don't remember what moment it is, so I don't think so. No.
You don't remember the elbow at one end of the court, which we spoke about in detail into the game?
It was a while ago. I mean, I vaguely remember it. And again, I think watching the replay and also speaking to the league about it, I don't think anyone thought it wasn't a basketball play. Otherwise, something would have happened with it. So, you know, I think it's just something both teams probably moved past, and I think we're looking forward to the grand final.
Courtney, can you talk a bit about the rivalry? You've been part of it the whole way through as well. Like, finals matter when you guys get together. It's always a cracking contest.
Yeah, I think it's a fun rivalry because I think the programs are completely opposite. I think obviously Perth play super fast paced. They kind of take any shot they want, and like we obviously are like quite structured. We like to kind of move the ball and kind of get everyone touches. So I think we maybe play a bit slower. So I think it's cool, like kind of when we come together, like kind of like Shannon said. I think maybe we aren't underdogs on paper, but I think our program kind of runs on like recruiting players that maybe are underdogs and then just having them work super hard and having them work together, and then obviously we end up playing decent basketball. And Perth have all of these absolute superstars who are so incredibly individually talented. So, yeah, I think it's cool. I think every time we play, it's a fun game to watch. So, yeah, it should be another good series.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll just throw over to Paul as well for shooting the breeze.
Congratulations to Shannon. This game was a really tough tussle, and it could have gone either way. What were the key adjustments that you felt you needed to make to turn things around from the first quarter, which got you to the big gap in the second, which, as it turned out, gave you enough of a gap to be able to keep yourself ahead for the rest of the game?
Yeah, look, I mean, they started the game just really fast. It actually reminded me, we played a game against them in Parkville, like probably 5 weeks ago or so, and they started the exact same way, and it kind of caught us off guard, and Rochi really pushed the ball, and it felt like they were just way more athletic than us, and the same kind of thing happened. They got a bit of a lead early, and then eventually we sort of settled into the game and did a better job, you know, with our defensive transition, but also just slowing the ball down and slowing their ball movement down and that sort of thing. And I think once we did that, we were able to settle into the game. We were I think we were a bit nervous as well, to be honest. Like offensively, we were making some strange passes and, you know, like just shooting the ball a bit quick and that type of thing. So I think once we just settled into the game, got our defense set and were able to get some stops consistently, we looked a lot better.
Courtney, you, Alicia and Alex were in foul trouble. Did you feel that you needed to adjust your game at all to take that into account, or did you just sort of feel like we're going to go for broke because it's all out to play?
Yeah, I think kind of like after the second game, we just wanted to provide a lot more like resistance, and I think there were plays probably like tonight where like in the second game we would have given up a layup, and maybe tonight we gave up a foul. So I feel like kind of in the schemes of things, like yeah, it did kind of provide a bit of difficulty down the line, but I feel like a lot of times that we were getting fouls, it's because we were trying to be aggressive and trying to kind of play defensively how we wanted. So obviously paid off. There could obviously have been a scenario where it didn't pay off, but yeah, it ended up working out, so that's all right.
And finally, Shannon, that last few minutes of the game showed the intensity and the desperation of both teams throwing at each other. How tough was it for you on that side?
Like I was all right. It was fun. Like it was, obviously it's stressful and you want to win and they want to win as well really badly. And, we had a lot of problems to try and solve, I guess. Like we needed to find a way to score a little bit easier and, some of those things. But no, mate, it's sort of what we're here for. We knew it was going to be tight. I think everyone had a pretty good feeling it was going to be tight down the stretch and whoever was going to come up with the key stops and be able to make free throws was going to win, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. I was really proud of our girls for, even though, like I said, we did have the foul trouble and whatnot, we kept playing hard, we kept playing tough, we're able to grind out. I think we finished with 8 stops in a row or something like that for the game. So, I think to win a championship, you have to be able to defend, and I think we've been able to do that pretty well the last probably 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season.
Except for game 2.
Yeah, except for game 2.
Besides that.
Thanks, guys. And lastly, just Seebohm.
Thanks, guys. Colin, I'll start with you. I think the common denominator for you guys is Mila Soa, but for the number one advantage from your perspective as the captain, what do you think that you have as Townsville that is going to be the biggest disruptor for Perth?
Biggest disruptor? So yeah, thought pondering question. I'm gonna say the power of connection. I'm gonna say, I think the biggest disruptor for us is that I think we've got like a game plan against Perth. Obviously, last game was a bit different. I don't know what it'll be like this game, but I feel like we're really committed to, I think the second game showed, like when we go off script, it's obviously not our forte. So I think that's given us a massive emphasis like tonight. And then I think going to the grand final series of like just sticking to the script and kind of just doing what Shannon tells us to do, because usually that works out. So I think that will be our biggest disruptor.
And for you, Shannon, as I said, like Mila is obviously the connection between you guys specifically, and obviously you guys recruited her to have that offensive punch when you struggled in the grand final, and then obviously in the semi-finals you saw what she was capable of. So coming into this series, is she sort of the X factor for you from a coaching point of view? Because Ryan is going to know exactly how to make her tick versus while you're trying to unblock her to ensure you get through the 3 games.
I don't know if she's the X factor. I think Mila's extremely important, and she's played phenomenally well for us all season. So, hopefully she can continue that sort of form. I know she's definitely going to be up for playing Perth and be aggressive and all those things, and they'll obviously know her weaknesses and what to do and all that type of stuff too. So I think it's going to be interesting how that plays out. But I actually think Lucy Olsen's the X factor for us. I think she's going to have a big part to play in this series. She's come out and obviously had a quiet offensive series here against Southside, but we know she can definitely score the ball and make big shots, and she's a big game player coming from Iowa and playing in front of massive crowds and all these things in college. So I think she's going to be ready for this moment. I think her defense has improved a lot as this season's gone, and she was extremely tough out there for us today and in game 1 and 2. So, I think Lucy's going to be probably an X factor for us.
And I can't remember if it was the week or week before that you basically were saying that Alicia's been the unsung hero of the team, and no better night than to talk about it again tonight with that clutch 3. And obviously the transition from wrists has obviously been a hard adjustment from her 3-point shooting, but to come out and have nearly perfect from the field in the first half to now having to guard Hanzu, what do you envision her role is for the next 3 games?
Oh, she's extremely important. I mean, without Lauren Cox being in our lineup, Alicia stepped up in more ways than we could have imagined. I think she's probably, I don't know if this is right, but she's probably been one of the most efficient players in the league, I would say, since Coxie went out. Her scoring output's gone up by probably 3 points plus per game, and also her rebounding's gone up as well. So, she's got a huge job. Obviously, Hanzu's, probably the hardest player to stop in the league, and I think probably the reason why Perth are the favourites probably going into this. So she's going to have a really tough job ahead of her. And, I think, but in saying that, like our entire team's going to need to be locked into that as well. So, Frols has been amazing for us, and I can't wait to see what she's going to do in a grand final.
And Courtney, lastly, can you give us a preview of what Woody's Weekly is going to include?
Yeah, sorry, top secret, especially after that last question you gave me. So nothing for you. See it online.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.